So I wanted to share some more about Tom Svuda and Nilsen. I was actually reminded of something, and I don't know why it didn't cross my mind before to share this, but Tom Svuda, before he went on his mission, he really liked to exercise, and whenever he'd exercise, he'd listen to "Eye of the Tiger," which most of y'all know is "Eye of the Tiger" is famous for Rocky, the Rocky films. So, anyways, ironically, where Tom Svuda and I served together on our mission is where one of the filming locations were for one of the Rocky films. Rocky 4, the training montage scenes were filmed in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So I think it's amazing to say that God really watches out for us because my favorite soundtrack to listen to as I exercised before my mission, after my mission, was the Rocky soundtrack. So how cool is that? That him and I got to serve in Jackson Hole, Wyoming together. The one place where in our entire mission would Rocky film would have been filmed. But I also wanted to share something very unique. My family has actually gotten to meet several I shouldn't say several, but a couple of my companions post mission, but they only got to meet one of my companions during the mission. And that was Tom Svuda Nilsen in Jackson Hole. And also, I don't know if I'm accurate about this, but I may have been the only person that actually met any of Tom Svuda's family members on his while he was on his mission. And I actually got to meet one of his brothers in Jackson Hole. But I also wanted to share something that I'm very proud of too. Tom Svuda's parents were in what he liked to call it the old folks' home business. But my dad also was in the senior living business at the time we were actually serving together. So that's a very neat common thing we have in common. But also him and I like to go exercise. We like to exercise before our mission, during our mission, and after our mission. And I we used to go exercise and all the people in Jackson Hole would say, "Hey, you and the Norwegian that Texan and that Norwegian are the probably the biggest people in Jackson Hole." And I'd like to think that we were able to maintain that. So, anyways, kind of get that from my exercising, but also from my good Norwegian background and heritage of having broad shoulders and be able to build big arms. But I want to share something interesting that what a difference Tom Svuda made in people's lives. About 7 or 8 years after Tom Svuda and I were gone from Jackson Hole after our missions, I had a family friend that I grew up with that visited Jackson Hole, and they were in one of the Jackson Hole churches in one of the wards. And they were in the Sunday school class, and the Sunday school teacher randomly said this, that there were two missionaries that were here less than a decade ago that really made a difference around here. And their names were Elder Nilsen and Elder Faldmo. Talk about what a difference you can make in people's lives, not just for the immediate time frame, but the long-term time frame and eternal time frame. But that is such a proud story for me to hear about, and I want all of Tommy's family to know how special he is. As I'll tell everyone, I can take death pretty well. I can take it pretty well. But this one, Tom Svuda, his passing, has probably had more of an impact on me than any passing ever in my life. And as I listened to his funeral yesterday, everyone said the same things that I'm about to tell you. Everyone said he always had a smile on his face, which is true. That he was always very positive. That he was always wanted to help everyone out. And I had the privilege and blessing of actually writing a 3-minute speech on Tommy's funeral. And that is truly a privilege and blessing that his wife would ask me to do that. For he made a difference in me like very few people ever have. And I've worked for major companies. I've lived in several places. And he made a difference in me. Like not many have been able to. So his family needs to know that. His children and his wife and his siblings. I'm very proud also that I had the opportunity to know him. And as I share more experiences about him, when I lived with him for 4 months, from March of 2000 till the end of July 2000, we were missionary companions. He was my last companion on my mission. I'm very proud of that. But there were several people. We baptized 15 people in the 5 months I was in Jackson Hole. And several of those people would not have been baptized were it not for Tom Sverre. Him and I had the opportunity to teach people about eternal truths, of God's plan of happiness, and of the Savior Jesus Christ atoning sacrifice. What greater thing could we have done in that time in our lives from the time we were 19 to 21? But I'm really proud of the people that we baptized, members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and the people that we help return to church while in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Tom, his family needs to know that he is very special. He's very unique. He's very different. That to me is one of the greatest attributes you can say about anyone. And he also, we had such a good time together. Like my family, it's actually, we've talked about Tommy since his passing, and my family said, you and him were just like brothers. You guys would have fun with one another, joke around with one another, all that stuff. And you guys really had fun together, and you guys could tell you guys had a really tight bond. But Tommy's family needs to know also the people that we baptized. One of them, for sure, would not have been baptized were it not for Tom Sverre. This person's name was Mike. Mike, we actually got to know because he knew one of the local bishops' kids, and we just got to know him. And as we got to know him, we taught him about the gospel of Jesus Christ. And it took several months for us to baptize him, but Tom Sfudd or Elder Nilsen just made such a difference in him that also Elder Nilsen just said to him one day, kind of like, I'm not exact quote, but Mike, what are you waiting for to be baptized? So Mike decided to just go with it, and he got baptized. And that was such a cool experience. Also, there had been someone who had been investigating our church for several years and had not joined. But Tom Svada and I talked with him, And he decided to get baptized after several years of investigating the church. 2 weeks before I went home from my mission. What I'm about to tell everyone also is a very also sacred experience. I've shared one before, but I think even less people know about this story I'm about to tell you all about. And it happened when I was with Tom Svuda. It really made a difference in my life. While I was on my mission, I had acid reflux really bad, like really bad. I had it all day and all night, and I couldn't kick it. So they put me on all these. I tried all these different medications, and they just, it was just getting worse. So when I was serving with Tom's Photo, my last, what's called Fast Sunday on my mission, I decided to fast and pray about what I should do about my acid reflux and indigestion. And a feeling came to me of what I should do is to do away with the medication. And anyone who knows if you have actually indigestion or acid reflux, you either need to eat or take your medication to have it go away. But on Fast Sunday, we don't partake of any food or water. So that story, I decided to do away with the medication. And I've never taken a medication since. And I've never felt better since. So that was a very difference maker in my life. And I'm so glad I got to share that with Tom's Futta, Nilsen. I want to give everyone my love and support for each of you. My love for the Nilsen family. During this time, my prayers are with you. I love Tom's Futta. I love the Nilsen family. I know that heavenly parents are proud of Tom's Futta. I know the Savior Jesus Christ is proud of him. I know that his parents, who he is with now in his passing, are proud of him. I know the Nilsen family is proud of him. Everyone is privileged and blessed to have Tom Svuda in their life. And everyone who ever knew him, it was a privilege and blessing for them as well. For he touched countless amount of people. I don't think I could even name them all. And he just made everyone better who knew him. He was always willing to help out people. His smile on his face always made others have smiles. His positivity helped others be positive. Once again, Tom Svuda will always have a special place in my heart, and I miss him. But I know I will see him again, and I'm grateful for that knowledge.